Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons, make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers, so help me out there. Subscribe and let's go guys. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about two things. What will come in the future of raiders and RWRs for War Thunder? There's two things that I wanted to talk about that will probably completely change the way that we play air in top tier, basically, right? So let's just dive right into it. The first one is electronic scanned raiders, okay? Like PESA and AESA, the passive one and the active one. I already have some videos explaining how these raiders work, but to simplify, instead of only having one single unit that emits or transmits or even spreads the radio waves in the air, to scan, it has multiple, so many transmitters in the case of AESA and only one transmitter in the case of PESA, but with a phase shifter modules or many phase shifter modules that make the same effect happen. So instead of having just, one transmitter, you will have many things that transmit the radiation. That basically breaks down the whole search pattern that you have to wait for the radar to do the whole scan into very small ones that they can do all at the same time, making it a lot faster to search and track targets, right? So these radars are going to change how effective you are at detecting and tracking targets, making a near instant detection for any target, basically, and making the radar be able to hard lock multiple targets at the same time. This is hard lock, not TWS. It will be able to actually lock, for example, 4 targets at the same time, guiding even semi-active missiles in the case, like, for example, in the MiG-31, right? So it is a very interesting thing. It is very powerful. And I mean, just the instantaneous detection would make it, a lot better than you have to wait, what we have to wait right now, right? And obviously, being less likely to be notched and stuff, it's still a pulse Doppler radar. It just has a different concept behind the antenna and stuff, but it has all the benefits of a pulse Doppler radar, but it has these two extra pluses, if you will, like the instant detection and the multiple hard locks. Many aircraft can use these. The first ones to actually implement these were the Soviets in a combat aircraft, with the MiG-31. But basically everybody uses these things in real life right now, right? I mean, the Europeans, many European countries, the US, the Russians, each to their own abilities and technologies, depending on political and other economic problems that each country and stuff faced. For example, the Russians of the 90s, even the US, I mean, after the Cold War ended, things got a little bit slower to be developed. Obviously, less money getting into development because you don't have the big enemy right across the Atlantic Ocean to be opposing to you, right? So, but still, they were developed in the, it's a very old technology, it's from the 60s, right? But it was used initially only in ground radars. It was a very big and heavy technology. I mean, a radar for, like, for example, a MiG-29 weighted around 250 kilograms or something like that. The radar of the MiG-31 weighted 1 ton, so 1,000 kilograms. So it's a very heavy and complex technology back in the day. Now it's a little bit more simple and lighter, obviously, with advancements on computing power and microprocessors and stuff. So yeah, but it is going to be very interesting to see that. As I said, the first one that we should see, it might be the MiG-31, but I don't know. I mean, we can have the J-10s having them. We can have some MiG-29s versions of that having them. We can have many aircraft that will have that in the future. But right now, nobody has a proper radar like this, right? But very interesting, and it will make BVR and just overall tracking a lot easier and a lot more powerful for a lot more powerful missiles as well, right? And the second thing is the RWRs, or the radar warning receivers, right? The alert systems that the aircraft have for radars and other systems like that. So yeah, we are already kind of behind on that technology, on the RWRs in the game. For example, in real life, the SPO-15, it's a great example, found in the later models of the MiG-23, MiG-27, and basically all the 80s Soviet aircraft like MiG-29, Yak-41. Even the Su-24, for example, had a more advanced version of the SPO-15 in the 80s with more antennas and stuff to protect it a little bit better. So yeah, but this system that is already in the game already has in real life some abilities that we don't have in the game right now. Those include many types of systems. For example, launching warnings. A launch warning is basically the RWR and the systems of the aircraft detecting that there is a missile launch, a radar missile launch coming towards you, and it basically lets the pilot know. So not only you will be able to see when a target locks you, you will be able to see when a type of radar missile, that's important, for now only radar missiles, are launched, or even when they go pitbull, for example, in the sense of the AIM-54 Phoenix, right? So yeah, another thing that it's very cool about these missiles, in certain situations, especially against Fox 3 missiles, the SPO-15, for example, can calculate the distance for the missile, which is a very interesting concept. I mean, you can actually detect when the missile is going to hit you. So you can actually just do the normal cranking, and then when you have to fully notch it, you will know when the missile is coming towards you, right? So that you can actually use this information in the best possible scenario that you want, right? So yeah, very, very cool. It's something that we see in the CS, for example, in the SPO-15, but we don't have it in the game. And by the way, obviously, we have counterparts for that for the other ones. I am more familiar with the SPO-15, so I'm talking about it, but obviously the NATO and other countries have all of that as well. And even in some cases, like the Mirage 2000, it has an automatic deployment of programmed countermeasures. So when the RWR detects this distance and stuff. So it can be a very, very interesting system that helps a lot to just be more effective against these radar missiles that we will need to be. Because these radar missiles, the more we go into the future, they will be more advanced, right? Just harder to evade. So yeah, of course, even aircraft like the J-8F and the Harrier J-7, they have even more advanced systems like the MAWS, or Missile Approach Warning System. It's basically it's basically an integrated missile warning system with an active detection of an incoming missile. So it actually has an infrared or radar or ultraviolet kind of system there that it can actually detect a missile coming towards you, no matter if it's an IR missile or a radar guided missile. And with that, it can auto deploy countermeasures. It can do all sorts of things. Let the pilot know, even maybe telling what is the best maneuver for the pilot or anything like that. And this is going to be included in many, many future aircraft as well, like the A-10C, the Su-24M, and many other aircrafts, more modern, like the Eurofighter, the Rafale, the Su-35, many aircraft like that, right? So yeah, it is very interesting that we are kind of behind already in the RWRs, and we need to go into the future. First we need to go to the present, right? But the future will have a lot of these more modern systems to help you actually evade these very unavoidable missiles, right? There is some rumors even that the J-8F is going to have the MAWS systems when the patch is released. So let's wait and see when this patch is actually released to see how that thing works. And these are the two things that I think will completely change the combat for air in top tier. The radars will make you a lot more effective detecting and knowing where the targets are, but also the RWRs will make you a lot harder to hit. So every single system that is developed always has a counter. And even though the missiles, the aircraft, the radars, everything, the offensive stuff always becomes better and better, also the defensive stuff always becomes better and better as well, right? Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about these two little things that might change completely the way that everything is in the meta right now. And I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye guys. See you.